So we've got a wild story to tell you guys about how we copped these Jordan 1s for retail.
And not resale price like he did. For how much?
$450 on StockX.
Shame.
So the story starts off on Instagram. I saw these were about to release. I think I sent Babe the preview, no? Didn't I send you a picture like coming soon, blah blah?
You did.
I always loved Jordan 1 Travis Scott collab. So once I saw these, the Travis Scotts now sell for like 1,500. And when I saw these, I was like, finally my chance to buy something similar at least. And how did you feel about them?
I think for me, when he sent it to me, I was like, I hope, I mean, they're great, but I was like, great, they're another $2,000, right?
Yeah, never gonna get them for retail.
I wasn't really pressed about them, but as soon as I saw them, I said, this is something I would wear. So I've always loved Jordan 1s, like they're my fave out of all the Jordans, because the other ones I feel like are just a little bulky for me. And when I saw these, I was like, brown, black, and a good price. I was like, I need to try at least to cop them.
Skin girl.
Oh god.
She says she really grew up boy like me.
Anyway, and then I was like, sure, they're nice, but we all know how sneakers and the sneaker game and the sneaker industry now is crazy. So I had no clue we could even try and get them, let alone in Switzerland. So what happened next?
So they released in the US, and what ended up happening is I bought a pair because I was super excited.
He was trying to flex on everyone.
No. That didn't happen.
No, that did.
I bought a pair on StockX and I paid like 400 or 450, between 400 and 450 for them pre-release. And then they were meant to drop in Europe October or something like that, September, October. And then it kept getting pushed back. That makes sense, that sentence?
Kept getting... It kept getting pushed back, really.
Thank you.
Okay, no problem.
Kept getting pushed back. What had happened was...
Yes?
I think you walked past Foot Locker and you saw them in the window.
Wait, he's going too quickly though. So, he got the pair on StockX. Think about it. Barely anyone had the pair here in Europe, okay? It's not really a StockX vibe here unless, you know, you're in the HEYYY or you have contacts like that. So one day, he decides to just, you know, wear them, and literally no one had seen them yet. So he goes to like a really famous sneaker store here called Snipes, and he walks in and all the workers there were like, yo, you got the Mochas? And that was like at least a month and a half before the release or something, no?
Yeah, like a month.
Ooh. So he had them, he was wearing them, so all the sneakerheads were like, that's crazy, and you know, he was flexing. He was literally a little celebrity with the Mochas. He was flexing, no, because he was flexing, and that was like crazy to think about, especially here. Even if sneakerheads are like, how did you cop these? So that's how it started. And then, how did we get to know that they would sell them here? In Geneva, by the way.
We were hyping the shoe up. I had already bought them. I was annoyed to have paid resale for them, but it is what it is. And then you saw them walking past Foot Locker, didn't you?
Yeah, so I think it was on Instagram. I think I saw it on Titolo. I saw it on Titolo Shop. It's another store that isn't based in Geneva, but in like Zurich and Bern, whatever. Bern. Anyways, and and then what happened was I wanted to go to Zurich to cop them. So we had thought of going on Saturday, maybe have a drive up there, and also
that was the plan.
Yes.
That was the original plan.
And Popeyes was opening in Zurich, guys. This is a big deal. Like we don't get these things
here. I had spoken to someone from Snipes, the manager of Snipes, and he told me most likely they were gonna do a raffle in Snipes.
Yes.
And they were saying most likely they won't get much stock because Zurich and Bern are what's the word? Privileged.
Yes.
Can you say that? We're privileged over like Geneva. Sneaker privilege. And so he said, if you really want to get them, go to one of those two cities. Then what happened? What?
Okay.
Karma's a...
I'm good. I'm just nervous. Okay.
Karma.
We don't care.
We don't care. Let me tell you, we don't care.
And then you saw them in Foot Locker.
Yeah, so I was
After
randomly...
that whole build-up, I think.
And then we decided we couldn't go to Zurich that weekend, so I was a bit sad, whatever. And then I walked past the Snipes or the sneaker store here in Geneva. Oh, Foot Locker, yes. And I'll insert a picture. And Basically, I see them in like how do we say vitrine?
Display.
Yes, display, the glass display. And it's like putting the date. I think it was 19th.
Yes. Was it?
Or one of those.
But it just had been pushed back so many times.
Yes.
Then we see it in the window. We like found out when it's gonna drop.
And then people were taking pictures of the display. Everyone was asking in the
hype
store,
was building
oh
up.
my gosh, you guys are gonna have it in the hype. So I call him at work. I'm like, babe, they're gonna have the mochas. They're gonna have the mochas. We had to queue up. And we had to do the whole debacle thing. Like, we all knew. So I told Bae, I said, you know what? I want to do this. I want to try and cop these because these are actually Jordans I would wear. So he's like, fine, okay. Woo.
My friend sends me a picture of the front of Foot Locker. There were already 10 people camping out at 10 p.m. We were like, guys, we're not gonna get these shoes. There's gonna be so many people. Around 1 a.m., 2 a.m., we drive to Foot Locker and there's like maybe 100 people. But the difference with this camp was they weren't camping in a line. Everyone was
scattered,
a group there, and they had made like a makeshift list. So some guys came from a different city to Geneva and tried to dictate the rules and be like, you were first on the list, you were second. Problem was they put their friends first.
We get there and we're like, yo, there's so many people. You have to remember, this is a city that really goes off of trends, but you have to be like aware that drops like that don't really drop here. So usually when there's stuff like that, it's sort of on the low and people just walk in and out.
Yeah,
but this
you
was
still
like
managed to buy, but
exactly.
No
but
one
this was
expected
the
for,
first
like, 100
time.
people.
Exactly. This was the first time where we saw like people. People had traveled to come into our city to get the sneakers. Like, this has never happened before. And you understand at the end of the story why no one realized, even Foot Locker, that this was gonna be as big. So we get there, we're all like, you know, putting layers because this is like winter time. So we're all with our layers. It's mad early. We get there and there's this little guy with his like shift board and a list with his little pen just walking around talking to people with a list. And I look at this guy and we both look at him. We're like, oh, maybe he works for Foot Locker. Like, they prepped and, you know, they're taking people in so that at 9 a.m., you know, everyone is on the list. Lo and behold, this guy is a whole ass stranger with his friends, just putting people and thinking now he's like patrolling the sneaker drop. I was just like, what's happening here? And people were tense. You felt like people were about to fight because people had like queued for so long and some people were on the list before. It was just very, very messy. And you could sense like, you know, stuff was about to go down.
Yeah, so basically the guys from out of town were cheating on the list and the guys who were from Geneva that I know, I was chatting to them and they weren't okay with the list. They were standing at the door and they were like, however it goes down, tomorrow morning when it opens, we're the first ones that are gonna buy. And I basically knew the shit was gonna go left from there.
I'm not trying to fight today. He was like, let's go. And I was sad. I was like, but I want the shoes. He was like, Ivy, it's not worth it. Let's just go. Let's go. So we did.
So we left and then I went to work the next day.
We actually passed by the store. I was like, please just drop me by the store.
Yes, we passed by it before I went to work.
Yes,
right?
yes. And then I decided to queue. Oh, okay, I decided to queue. People were telling me, it got crazy. They're not dropping it today. There was police there patrolling like the little queue. People were all around just gating the door. And you could sense like staff was so tense. So I asked someone, what's going on? He was like, it was 7:30 a.m. and there were 300 people at the door fighting. And then the police came, I think probably gave the Foot Locker a fine because they were like, how are you dropping something so hyped and you don't have any organization?
Guys, remember this like deep in the middle of COVID. This deep in the middle of lockdowns, masks, all of those things.
It still is!
So there were 300 people like beefing, probably no masks in front of Foot Locker to get these damn shoes.
Can you imagine? So I was like 300 people in a whole Geneva? That's crazy.
We have a plug at one of the stores. He managed to reserve one for you, one for himself. What ended up happening was it dropped a few days later, I think.
Yes, it did. They didn't tell anyone the day.
They randomly dropped it a few days later. Randomly. Nobody knew when, what time. There were rumors. And the rumors happened to be true.
So much drama.
I stood in the queue. I bought myself a pair. And then thanks to the plug, we got 2 other pairs. So yeah.
And we got like the best sizes too.
We got
42 and a half for me.
42 and a half for you, 44 for me. And I think we actually got a 41 that I resold. I bought and I resold the same day and made like a few bucks with that.
Ka-ching! So that's our story. Here they are. Look how pretty. Okay, so here are the lovely ones. My babies. I love them. And they're high tops because my first pair that I actually got that I love. Can you? Wow. Okay. He's about to troll me because sneakerheads are like, mids are nothing. Ooh, mids don't count.
She actually bought some Jordan 1 mids thinking they were highs.
Okay.
Oh god.
Anyway, I'm still happy and I got these. What do you think about them, babe?
I love these, to be honest. Like mine are kind of beat up now already.
Yeah.
I feel like this is a shoe that's meant to be beat up though. It's so comfortable, even to work in suits. That's what I wear sometimes, and they're just super comfortable. That nice velvet over there, different leather. It's just, for me, it's the perfect Jordan 1.
I really think so too. I mean, I love the colorway because they're basically like colors that I love. Basically like black, browns, whites, just like neutrals that just blend in together so well.
And it goes with almost everything.
Literally everything in my wardrobe. Like it works with everything. And it's just so sleek. And if you change the laces, like I haven't tried the laces like white laces.
Ooh,
but like
I've
seen a lot of like girls like do that and it looks so good. And then people put like the pink to like mimic the Travis Scotts and stuff like that. But I think already a white like white lace would be super, super nice. I honestly think like this is a classic shoe. I genuinely think so. And I haven't had many Jordan 1s, so yeah.
Okay, sneakerhead.
No, I'm just saying, like I've always
classic shoe.
No, but like I've always loved Jordan 1s, but you know, a girl couldn't afford it for a while. She had other priorities. So now that I can cop a few here and there, like I'm just happy that I got to get the Mochas. You know what I mean? Because like a lot of people get a lot of crazy colors, which are nice, but
Can I say something?
Yes, you can.
You're welcome.
Wow. Yeah.
The plugs plug, you know.
Okay. No. Hope you liked the story time. Hope you liked Mr. here. He'll be in much more videos.
Okay.
Subscribe, comment, leave some love, please. Trying to reach my goal, 1,000 subscribers. And what else?
If you like Jordan 1s, drop a like. Ooh.
Okay, are you gonna do the thing?
Should I do it?
Yes.
Okay.